It's the Giants and Cowboys on Sunday. It's a 4:25 kickoff. It's time for this week's edition of Crossfire, presented by Primepoint. Here's the first question for you. The NFC East is off to a very rough start, but which team still poses the biggest threat to the Giants in the division? Carl, you go first.
Well, I think every one of them are in the same situation, Bob, but the Dallas Cowboys, because they have the firepower, they can come back and put a lot of points on the board. So I think they are the biggest threat to the Giants, outside of the Giants themselves.
Well, I was going to say right now it would be the Giants themselves. But if you think about it, I would go to Philadelphia Eagles, and this is why. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles, even though they're playing bad, they're more balanced. Whereas Dallas has a great offense, their defense is totally suspect.
I don't know about.
But they got a lot of injuries on defense, too. I mean, they're missing their top corners. They're missing Leighton Vander Esch, Sean Lee. They're going to get some of these guys back.
It didn't really matter against, when we played against San Francisco. It's just you got to go with the team. I'm saying the Eagles because in the long run, I think the Eagles are going to be the team.
Who's putting the most points on the board, Howard? It's an offensive league. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Okay.
All right. The Cowboys have given up 42 points per game over the last 3 weeks. What have opponents been able to do, and how can the Giants use that to their advantage, Howard?
Well, what the Giants can do in this game, like I said before, is kind of go back to the basics. But the thing that they can do mostly is try to get these tight ends active. I know it seems like a common thing we say it week in and week out, but this week more than any week, if the tight end gets active in the middle of the field, for whatever reason, with those two linebackers being out, the Cowboys are having a hard time stopping and controlling the middle of the field.
I don't disagree with you, but I think the key right now is a lethal combination of Wayne Gallman running the football downhill and getting Jalen Smith out of those holes.
All right. I think you guys sort of agree on that one. So that leads to this next question. Who can be a spark plug for the Giants offense this week? Howard, you go first.
I would go with the tight end because I said tight ends definitely would be the guy that could be the spark plug. But the spark plug this week, believe it or not, it's going to have to be Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is going to have to find a way to make some plays, some off-schedule plays to find some, rhythm, tempo, make a play where you're not supposed to make a play, pick it up, and not just run the ball, but get the ball in the receiver's hands. I think Daniel Jones needs to be that spark for this team to get over the edge.
Again, I don't disagree. But I'm going to tell you, if Freeman's running the ball well and you put in Wayne Gallman, that's going to be the spark because he gives you a different tempo to your offense.
I would like the running game to work, but definitely Daniel Jones. I need you, Danny Dimes.
Yeah, he's got to see the field a little bit better, too, when there's opportunities down the field to make a play and hit those plays for the Giants to get touchdowns as opposed to settling for field goals. All right, the NFL's at the quarter pole. Which Giant do you see more of in the second half of the season?
I think it's going to be a more physical team, and I think we're going to see more from the offensive line.
I think you're going to see a more dominant team from the defensive line. I think every week they seem to get a little bit stronger. Watching them a week ago play against a very explosive Ram team and figuring out the Rams team and being able to hold them is giving me some hope that the defensive line is really going to step up, take some pressure off that secondary and some pressure off those linebackers.
All right, Howard, nicely set this week. Well done, my friend. We'll do it again next week.
Thank you.
That was this week's edition of Crossfire, presented by Primepoint.